Hello, my name is Mike Morris, co-director of Writing on the Wall. Welcome to our 22nd annual festival, which this year is themed Future Imperfect. Today, I'm really pleased and honoured to welcome to Writing on the Wall, Leroy Cooper. Leroy is well known as a photographer and visual artist. He has spent many years documenting the lives of the Liverpool Lake community and much more besides. But what many people don't know is that Leroy is also a very prolific writer. And today, he's going to be reading from his novel, written during lockdown, which is called The Dawning of the New Dark Age. And Leroy is going to introduce it, and then he's going to read an excerpt, and then hopefully you'll be able to then go over and buy the book, and we'll put some links up at the end of this video. So please settle into your seats and let me introduce Leroy Cooper.
The first thing I'd like to say, that this was written during the height of the pandemic lockdown. I was self-isolating, I was listening to social media, I was watching the news. I felt like I was being bombarded with propaganda and social media memes. And as an antidote to all of that, I decided to write something, but something reflective of the times. This is the dawning of the new dark age. It's 2033, of the people, by the people, to the people. Standing up for your rights starts with knowing that you have rights like everybody else. It then means responding to situations where those rights are being compromised. Know that you can call upon others to help defend you and your rights, and that you too must respond to defend the rights of others when called upon. Organize, resist, rebel. Ignorance is no longer an option. This was the stencil graffiti that had begun to appear in northern cities like Liverpool, Manchester, Leeds, Bradford, Huddersfield and Sheffield in 2333. Anti-media had rumoured that Banksy was out there and active again. Little did the people know that Banksy had been unmasked, picked up by a national education squad in 2025 and placed in a privatised facility for the mentally challenged and vulnerable. Banksy's pickled brain in a large bell jar was a prized possession of Hughes, the Minister of National Education, that sat on her desk in one of the newly created bunkers close to government communications headquarters in Cheltenham. Q is a short, squat woman with washed out, sandy blonde hair that is now mostly grey. She is a rabid patriot, highly intelligent, and has something of the slimy, slithering reptile about her, and her bite is venomous and deadly. She has a way of scrutinising all those that set eyes upon her, striking fear, raising the hair on the back of your neck type of fear. Into any room she enters. She has an aura of a predator menace that you can almost taste at the back of your throat, that has been known to elicit the vomit gag reflex from those she focuses her beady eye upon. Her favourite dress code is black flat-heel leather shoes, a two-piece grey designer trouser suit with a black turtleneck, light sweat underneath. She wears reading glasses on a chain around her neck, just like her domineering mother. And they are often perched at the end of her owl-like, short, hooked beak of a nose. She walked with a shuffling gait, as though she had a parasitic tapeworm dangling from her anus. She had risen rapidly through the patriotic Conservative Party and at MI8, the ministry, earning a reputation as a cold-blooded assassin, a doer. She gets the job done. Whatever the party leaders require of her, she can be relied upon. The ministry was officially called MI8, but in newspeak media was the Ministry of National Education, and she was assigned with rooting out and keeping under surveillance any domestic terror left-wing groups and individuals who are deemed high-risk threats to the strength and stability of the British nation. Its primary targets are Labour and Socialist supporters, Muslims, radical blacks, especially those with Rastafarian beliefs, spouting Africa Unite rhetoric with talks of reparations for the transatlantic slave trade, including any whites that actively and visibly support them, any radical Scottish and Welsh nationalists. The UK's citizenry are now viewed as the primary threats to internal national security. I'm going to move this along and introduce you to our beautiful mixed-race female protagonist. The Roundup, codenamed Operation Hard Rain. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. Some say the art of war. As days go, it started out gloriously. Clear blue skies, early morning bird song, and rays of sunlight streaming through her shattered bedroom windows, capturing floating dust particles meandering around the high-ceilinged oasis of her bedroom. Rizzler, her cat, sat in a beam of sunlight, like a singing diva on a stage, licking its paws and washed its face, its blue-grey fur glistening in the morning light. Beside her was a half-eaten mouse, or at least its head. The sudden alarm call startled her, and she darted across the room and hid behind a cardboard box. Janaea was dreaming out being in a field of singing sunflowers who were serenading her, but she was woken and dragged into reality by the insistent alarm on her crap phone. She rose and stretched, reaching up. She stretched the sleepiness out of her limbs. Janaea then rolled out of bed from beneath her stained, grubby quilt, voluptuously naked. She needed lashings of sweet, black market instant coffee in the mornings to jumpstart her for the day's adventures. She did 50 sit-ups, 50 press-ups, 50 squats. Refilling the kettle from her water collection bucket to have a wash-in her one prized possession, a chipped, faded, antique, blue and white porcelain wash bowl. The precious water splashed and trickled down her long, black, silky-skinned, graceful, yet muscular, athletic limbs. Janaea got dressed in her regular black t-shirt and military-style grey combat trousers, with her battered, classic black Dr. Martin boots, and she tied her shoulder-length dreadlocks with a piece of green African wax print cloth. Today was the day that fresh drinking water rations would be allowed to flow for 3 hours, and you had to fill as many containers as you could find. If you were an unshipped renegade, access to safe drinking water was of the highest priority, and you had to trust that a friend would let you use their chip to get some water via their smart water meter. Water is life. Janaea belonged to an anti-media hackers collective called the Guardians, and she did not want to be captured. Getting swept up in any repo raids was not on her agenda. Janaea was a British-born, freedom-loving artist activist, an unshipped, mixed heritage 30-something woman with an Afro-Irish, Indo-Scottish, Jamaican melting pot background who was living on borrowed time. Janaea knew that she did not find a way to escape the UK sooner rather than later, then eventually she would be caught and she would face being re-educated. When water's rationed, you cannot trust that the wind will not whisper your name and location into the gross gammon-shaped ears of the UCs, dirty low-life snides, undercover state informers. A lot of those staffing the re-education camps had started off as low-level UCs, groomed and recruited. They were just happy to serve, gratefully happy to find employment after years of being on the white poverty, working class scrap heap of British life. They've now been given a purpose and felt as though they were part of something powerful. They were going to help the PCP make Britain great again. At least that's what they've been told. It's surprising what people will do for clean drinking water.
Thank you, Leroy. That was absolutely fantastic. You are able to get the complete version of this online at the link that we're putting up with this video, and the rest of it's going to be released as a serial, which is in the great style of Charles Dickens, who did the same. Really enjoyed that, and I think it's something, as Leroy said, it was written during lockdown, and it's something that really does speak to our times. Our festival, WOWFEST22, Future Imperfect, is also trying to speak to our times, and we've got a whole series of events running up until the 28th of May, which includes Tony Schumacher, who created The Responder, the T.S. Eliot Prize-winning poet Joel Taylor, the author Sean Fay, who wrote The Transgender Issue. We've also got Rob Newman, one half of Newman and Badil, who's here doing his philosophy show, Anthony Joseph, Zoe Howe, Malak Al-Nasir, Asif Khan and Theaster Gates talking about the National Museums Liverpool and the Cannon Dock redevelopment. There's too much going on for me to tell you all about here, so why don't you go to our website, which is writingonthewall.org.uk. Check it out there, get your tickets. Love to see you at the festival, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we do. And once again, huge thanks to Leroy Cooper for reading from his novel, and we're looking forward to hearing more from Leroy too in the future. Thanks.